Long before all the headlines, long before the infamy, there's a chapter of Jeffrey Epstein's life you've probably never heard about. It didn't take place on a private island, but inside a classroom at one of New York's most exclusive private schools. Today, we're diving into that story, the academic genesis of Jeffrey Epstein. Right off the bat, we're faced with a huge question, a real head-scratcher. How on earth does a college dropout in his early 20s land a prestigious teaching job at the Dalton School? You know, a place that demands top-tier credentials. It just doesn't add up, so let's unpack how he did it. I mean, just look at the mismatch here. On one side, you've got what Dalton required, a college degree, a teaching certificate, actual experience. And on the other side, you've got Jeffrey Epstein, a college dropout with none of that. This wasn't a case of bending the rules for him. The rules had to be completely shattered. So how did this happen? How did he manage to slip through a system that was basically designed to keep someone exactly like him out? Let's get into the story behind this incredibly unlikely hire. Well, the answer really boils down to one key person, the headmaster, a man named Donald Barr. A sudden opening for a math and physics teacher popped up, and Epstein was hired directly by him, completely going around the school's usual hiring committee. Apparently, his charisma and sheer confidence made such a huge impression that his total lack of qualifications was just ignored. He essentially talked his way in. Okay, so he's in, he got the job, but what was he actually like as a teacher? Well, no surprise here. His teaching style was every bit as unconventional as how he got hired in the first place. Accounts from people who were there paint this picture of a very unusual classroom persona. He was anything but a traditional teacher. Instead, he created this atmosphere that was described as brilliant and captivating, and he treated his students like they were his intellectual equals. His whole thing was to challenge everything they thought they knew. His method was something else. He'd often zero in on the students he considered the most brilliant, sometimes ignoring the others. He pretty much tossed the official curriculum out the window in favor of these freewheeling, informal discussions. His classroom wasn't about learning formulas. It was all about creating intense intellectual debate, which, as you can imagine, made him a very polarizing but definitely unforgettable teacher. But here's where the story really starts to shift. As we dig a little deeper, a different motive comes into focus. Was he really passionate about teaching physics, or was the Dalton classroom just a stage for a much, much bigger ambition? It really starts to seem like his true mission was all about networking. And it looks like there was a clear, three-step strategy at play. First, you captivate the students. These are, after all, the children of New York's elite. Second, you use that admiration to get access to their very powerful parents. And the final step? You leverage those brand new connections to get ahead. You see, his focus wasn't really confined to the classroom. He was actively and very strategically building a network. For Epstein, things like parent-teacher conferences and school events weren't just obligations. They were golden opportunities to connect with some of the most influential people in the city. And that strategy? It worked. It paid off big time. His 2 years at Dalton weren't just some strange little detour in his life. No, it was the launch pad that propelled him from the world of academia directly into the stratosphere of high finance. In 1976, after just 2 years, Epstein's teaching career comes to a very abrupt end. But here's the thing. It wasn't because he was fired. It was because his strategy had worked perfectly. He was hired away by this man, Ace Greenberg, the legendary CEO of the investment bank Bear Stearns. And what was Greenberg's connection to a 20-something physics teacher? Well, his son was a student in Epstein's class at Dalton. The very connection Epstein had cultivated in that classroom became his golden ticket to Wall Street. So when you put all the pieces together, the conclusion becomes pretty clear. The teaching job was never the real goal. The powerful connections he made with parents weren't some lucky byproduct. They were the entire point. Dalton was simply a stepping stone. And that leaves us with one final lingering question. When you look back at this early chapter of his life, was his time at Dalton just a job, or was it something more? Was this where he created the blueprint, the method of using access to cultivate power that he would go on to use for the rest of his life?